Hey, good morning. It's Christy Mattoon from Mindrewire. I want to bless you on this wonderful Tuesday, June 5th, 2022. I'm sorry, June 15th, 2022. Tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm super excited. I get a couple days off and I'm going to go play and have some fun, I think. But I wanted to jump on real quick this morning because, insights are just coming in and rolling through faster than I can keep track of them more often than not. And sometimes they seem a little bit more relevant, and especially for people who are still trying to shake some of this off, right? The quote-unquote waking up process can be pretty harsh, so maybe this will help somebody. What I was just now witnessing in my spirit was that everything we think we know is a lie, and we've all heard that at this point, but it's when you start sifting through that and trying to make sense of what it means that you start getting more insight. So, and the deeper you go, the deeper you go. It just seems to be the way this is. So I'm sitting in my spirit just kind of rolling some of these things around this morning about who we are and what we are and how much of this that's in front of us is even real, right? The idea of reality, and even the Matrix. What is real about the Matrix? What does that even mean? And, what is your soul? How do you engage with your spirit self instead of always being in your brain or your mind? Your mind is part of your soul, right? The mind, will, and emotions are your soul. Your spirit is that eternal part of you that goes forward, is my understanding. And one of the things that was really shining through this morning was the fact that your physical body had attributes that would carry you into other realms, other dimensions, give you feedback and information about all kinds of things when working properly. It was part of the goal of the cabal and the powers that be, right? The crazies who've taken over the planet and are now trying to do away with everything. It was part of their plan to disrupt everything that men and women are, as far as our extrasensory capacities go. And even the information we're giving about the quote-unquote extrasensory capacities, I believe is only half-truths, or half-truths is a good way to put it. My understanding is, if you think about this for a second, right? What is your gut? What is your heart? What is your brain? All three of those areas produce neurotransmitters. All three of those areas have physiology, right? So physical function, where they help maintain and help control the physical body. All three of those areas have abilities to reach out into the inner world as well as the outer world. All right, what do I mean by that? So let's take the gut first of all. Your gut has what has been referred to as little antennae inside your gut lining. Thousands and thousands and thousands, right? I could probably say millions and still not hit the mark of these little antennae that reach out into the world around you and give you feedback. Should I be afraid? Should I run? Am I at peace? Is everything fine? Right? It'll give you those bits of information based on what it's picking up, right, in an extrasensory way around you. We call this the gut feeling. You've all heard about this, right? So if I listen to my gut and I pay attention to my gut, I'll get this feedback, and then based on that feedback, if you're paying close enough attention and you're aware of this and you let the gut do its job, or the gut's able, probably a better way to say this, if the gut's able to do its job, you'll know what to do next, right? In pretty much any situation, you'll know what to do next. What has happened to the gut is it's been poisoned, right? So literally trying to knock that sense out of you so that you cannot reach into the world around you and hear these things, right? The poison in our food, the poison in our water, the poison in our air, all takes hold and dysregulates the higher level function of the gut. Does that make sense? All right, so the heart, same idea. What does the heart do? The heart's ability is an extraordinary capability of reaching inward to get outward and outward into other dimensions, outward into other spaces, right? So kind of the idea of astral travel. You don't remove yourself from your body to go astral travel. If you go through your heart, it's actually super, super simple. And when you start to recognize that and understand it, it changes the whole nature of that space and your ability to be able to use it, right? Some will call this the idea of heart coherence. And just being able to move into your heart space will cause that kind of coherence. And it's the same thing. Our hearts have been poisoned. Our hearts have been poisoned with lies. Our hearts have been poisoned with medicine. Our hearts have been poisoned with all kinds of things that causes your internal heart not to function the way that it's supposed to. Right? So some people will say, if we try and get heart coherent, some people will say that it feels like there's blocks around their heart and they can't even get into their heart. Right? They can't find that space. They can't, their hearts have been so damaged. My mother used to say this. Her heart had been so damaged. There was so much pain in her heart. Right? That kind of stuff keeps a person out of their heart. Where does that come from? It comes from poisoning. It comes from fear. It comes from, and poisoning on a mental, emotional level as well as on a physiological level. So back again to the food you eat, the medicines you take, right? They tell you something about your heart not working properly or something not working properly in your system and give you a medication that poisons and down-regulates the function of that space. Now, if you read scripture or ancient text, there is one, Psalms 91, where it talks about the secret space of the Most High. It is my understanding, and from my knowledge base, that I have understood that secret space of the Most High is in your heart space, right? It is a place that when you get in there, you instantly go into peace. You instantly go into gratitude, and it's peace, gratitude, love, joy. It's all the attributes of what we would have typically call God, the attributes of God, the attributes of a loving creator. And it's your spirit that occupies that space. And so what happens when you're in that space is you get the peace of spirit. You get the peace of God. You get the peace that passes all understanding. Gratitude, joy, love, all of those kind of attributes are found in this space from a higher level, right? So it's not the kind of peace that man taught you. It's not the kind of peace or love that man taught you. It's not the kind of joy that you're taught. It's not happiness that you're taught. It's not gratitude that you're taught. It is a different level of all of those named emotions that you experience from this heart space, and it alters the way you live your life. It can't not alter you in this existence. All right, so they poison that, so you can't get to it. Poisoned. You've been poisoned. The next one would be back up into your brain, right? Different than the mind. The mind is that part of you that they can't quite put a grasp on, right? We can't quite figure out where your mind is, where it comes from, how it actually works. Your brain is another story. They've dissected the brain multiple times, and we know about neuroplastic and different areas of the brain, that kind of stuff, right? Your pineal gland is housed in your brain. What did they poison? Right? We know beyond any reasonable shadow of a doubt that fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. Awesome. What do they put in our water and tell us it's good for us? Poison. But even in the dentist office, the dentist tells you to spit out the extra fluoride that he just polished on your teeth because you don't want that in your body. It's poison. It's actually a neurotoxin, right? So freaking awesome. We've been poisoned there. Why did they poison that? Because in an effort to downregulate what your pineal gland could effectively do, right, to turn you off so you can't get to the higher spaces, you can't be in your higher function, because it's a natural thing to do from your heart, from your brain, and from your gut. They've also taught you that all three of these places are separate places. They've taught you that every one of these areas inside your body, every one of these organs inside your body is a separate functioning organ. And I beg to differ. If you can get all three of these places in coherence vibrationally, if you can get all three of these places in coherence in the form of a higher level feeling, a higher level spirit feeling, you will have a different existence. You will have a different way of understanding yourself and the space around you. It's so interesting to me that the level of poisoning and the level of crap that we have gone through on this planet, the people that some are calling star seeds, literally poisoning us, now trying to get rid of us, totally get us off the planet so that they can control it and whatever. You can have the planet. I hate to say it like that, but whatever is next, bring it on, because I'm tired of this crap. Your spirit will move on from this, right? If we can keep the physical body intact and turn all of this on, get all of these systems back up and running, it's going to be a different level of existence as we move on, right? You can transcend with your physical body. And your physical body will transcend. It won't be the same physical body that you're in right now. So, I don't know, super interesting. You're poisoned. You've been poisoned. If you're breathing the air, you've been poisoned. I fight with the air all the time because of my lungs, the damage that my physical lungs have taken. And since the day I was born, they've been attacking my physical lungs. So if you start to understand it that way and then start to ask the question, okay, if I've been poisoned, what do I do to detox the system, this physical system, to get rid of that poison? That would probably be one of the best questions you could start asking, and then start looking for answers from that space. All right? Does any of that make sense? Was it helpful? I'm not going to give you answers as to how to detox here. There's a ton of information out on that pretty much everywhere. And so I'm going to let you do your just do and find what works for you, and go into your heart space, right? Go into your heart and ask, as you're looking online, is this right for me? 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 And keep asking every time you find something else. Look how beautiful it is up here. I'm in heaven. It is so gorgeous up here. I don't know what this area is called. I work at Glen Wild. I'm up here in Park City in Utah. And I get to drive through this every day. That road I just took you down, the whole drive over here, I get to drive this 2 times every day. I'm so blessed. I am so blessed. All right, I hope that helps. Heal your gut first, right? Your gut is the biggest part, I think, of all this. That if you can heal your gut, everything else will start to heal. And so it's amazing when you get that working properly. Your gut healing will heal your brain, right? You get inside your heart space, turn that on, get rid of all your walls and blocks, which don't exist. You've only been told they do and you believed it. None of that crap exists. Get inside your heart space and your brain will start to function differently. Your brain will start to function differently. It's all so amazing. Everything is a lie. Everything you think you know. If you start to think of it this way, and then start asking your spirit questions, you'll start to get answers. You can get your own answers. You can. I promise you, you can. All right, pulling into the clubhouse here. Time to go make the donuts. I love you. God bless you. We'll talk again soon.